Welcome back to the lab. Today, I want to talk about the possibility of a new Lord of the Rings game being in development. Most people already know the franchise has the potential to be a powerhouse with games like 2002's Lord of the Rings Two Towers, which sold over 1 million units, or Middle Earth Shadow of Mordor, which sold over 3 million copies. If we add the people that watched the movies and read the books, the numbers are astronomical, which in its own way gives validity to the article from Game Rant that we'll be diving into today. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and ninja kick that notification bell if you find this video informative. With that being said, let's jump right into the article. I will leave the link to the article down below, so let's get into it. New insider information has suggested that a brand new game based on J.R.R. Tolkien's legendary The Lord of the Rings franchise may already be in development. One of the biggest fantasy IPs of all time, The Lord of the Rings has seen a number of video game adaptations over the years, and fresh rumors have surfaced of yet another Lord of the Rings game being in the works. After completing the highly successful children's novel The Hobbit, J.R.R. Tolkien began work on The Lord of the Rings, a story that would go on to become one of the most iconic franchises of all time and one of the most renowned fantasy tales across literature, cinema, and gaming. From multiplayer titles like Lord of the Rings Online to family-friendly hits like LEGO Lord of the Rings, the franchise has seen its fair share of video games, with one more rumored to be on the way. With that out of the way, let's get to the good stuff. According to sources close to the game, speaking with Insider Gaming about the rumored new Lord of the Rings title, it is claimed that Juggernaut Embracer Group and even the Abu Dhabi Investment Office are involved in the project. The sources allege that the ADIO is investing upwards of $100 million in the development of the Lord of the Ring title that is meant to rival games like Hogwarts Legacy. Embracer Group acquired the gaming rights to the Lord of the Rings franchise back in 2022 to the tune of $400 million. So it would not be surprising to see the mega corporation attached to any officially licensed projects from the IP. Insider Gaming reached out to the Embracer and Revenge, another studio rumored to be involved, for comment, but both parties declined to make any statements in relation to rumors or speculation. We all know the Embracer Group has bought a ton of studios such as Square Enix Western Studios, Saber Interactive, Tuxedo Labs, and that's just to name a few. It is also worth mentioning BlackRock also holds a significant stake in the Embracer Group. They have since sold some of their assets to other corporations. They also bought the rights to Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit in 2022 from the Zal Santos company, which gave them access to film, video games, merchandise, and other adaptations. Amazon has a licensing deal with the Embracer Group for a new MMO game and also acquired the rights to the TV series The Ring of Power. With that being said, it would be a smart move to develop a game as expansive and story-driven as Hogwarts Legacy. The average gamer would appreciate a game of that magnitude, but let's try and leave the microtransactions out. The last part of the article states, however, the alleged inside sources stated that the new Lord of the Rings game has been in the works since 2024 and may be made official in the coming weeks. The insider was tight-lipped about the exact scope of the project, but did reveal that it will be a third-person action video game. This follows a similar design of the Lord of the Rings games released over the years, though it still remains unknown if the rumored project will follow existing storylines from the franchise or if it will branch off with its own narrative like Middle-earth Shadow of Mordor. This is exactly what I want to hear. I'd rather a third-person action video game than maybe a puzzle game or a Lego game, and this is just my opinion. I think when you have a franchise of this magnitude, the more depth you can put into the game, the more lore you can put into the game, the better. And don't get me wrong, the Lego games were amazing. They had a lot of lore jam packed into those games. However, people want a big budget AAA game, especially with Lord of the Rings. I think if it's done like Hogwarts Legacy and the time and the care is put into the game, people will flock to it. Use the money wisely. Don't just try cheap parlor tricks. A certain game comes to mind. I think like Watch Dogs was one of those games that it was boasted and touted to be an amazing cyber hack game, and then when consumers actually got their hands on it, it was something totally different, and from there the sales suffered. So tell me how you feel about this new information. Do you want a game like Hogwarts Legacy? Do you want a puzzle game? Do you want a fighting game? Or any different type of Lord of the Rings game? Do you want it to tie into the movies? Do you want it to be a one-off and explore an unknown character? Let me know down in the comments. Thank you so much if you stayed to the end of this video. And like we always say here on this channel, keep moving forward and game on.